Hey, Melissa, we're going live. Who do you want to do a shout out to?
I'm gonna give a shout out to my mama.
I love that. Mama, here we go. Guys, we're back again. This time we've got Melissa Robbins with us. And over the last 15 years, Melissa's captured the invisible and intangible within her clients. She's a photographer, and this enables them to share their true, empowered essence with the world. She works both with individuals and big brands, and her photography builds the bridge between message and image, which is super important. Welcome, Melissa. How are you?
Thank you. It's so good to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing great. And, I love having you here because I do photography and I don't get to talk to enough photographers being wherever I am right now in Florida. So you are like my new favorite best friend.
Yay.
So, hey, I love this whole idea of getting people out of their shells and basically you capturing their image. And I know that's really hard, but how did you even get into photography?
That's a great question. There's always been a camera around as long as I can remember, but a moment that I can recall that really put things into perspective for me is junior year of high school. I was really struggling with body dysmorphia and mental illness, and I took a applied arts class, which included photography and a darkroom experience and instant developing my own film in the dark room. It triggered something in me of like, oh my goodness, this is what I want to do. And one of our projects was to do a self portrait. And at the time, I really resisted it. But when I finally did it, I got to see myself as art for the first time. And I started to transform my body dysmorphia and really see a different perspective of myself.
What changed in you once you started taking the pictures? I mean, why did that make a difference to you rather than just say looking in the mirror?
I think because I started to see myself as art. I feel like when I was looking in the mirror, I was looking at a distorted image of myself that my brain was distorting. But this was a moment in time that I could see myself literally as art and appreciate my beauty in a different way. And I was able to weave in my creativity and also, use that camera as a tool of transformation to transmute my pain or things I was going through into art.
Yeah. Did you start with like the DSLR? Or did you start with like snapshots? What did you do?
I started with film actually, and I'm really lucky because my high school art teacher was actually a college photography teacher. So he literally taught me everything he knew, Mr. Ariel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shout out
so
Mr. Ariel.
he was a huge inspiration to me and really got me going with the photography stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because I think most photographers, or a lot of photographers these days, basically go out and get a digital camera and just shoot, 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 shoot until they get that one image. But when you do film and then you're in the dark room, it's expensive, so you got to learn what you're really doing, right?
Yeah, and I feel like it gave me this beautiful gift of waiting for the moment and having that anticipation of like, okay, here's the moment to capture it instead of just like shooting till you get something. It's like having that anticipation.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah,
when you've only got like, 30 shots and it's going to cost you like X number of dollars to develop them, you're looking for that shot.
exactly. Yeah.
We're definitely going to take a look at some of your stuff and what you're doing. You can go ahead and bring that back up on your computer and we'll take a look at it in a second. But one of the other questions I have is people find you and they go, "Oh, I want to take pictures with Melissa," but how do they know that? What do you do to make them go like, you know what? I think we can work together.
That's a great question as well. I think, people see my images online and they are in awe of them because I'm actually capturing people's soul's essence. It's not like the cheese smile on a tree, like cheesy singer portrait or whatever it is. People are actually seeing that. Oh my God, this person looks like a goddess, or this person looks like very authentic. And there's a reason for that. I'm helping people to get into their own energy and back into their bodies and out of their heads so that you can see and feel their essence through the camera. And it's not this a fake cheese smile.
Yeah. How do you do that? Because one thing that I have found is that people are like, oh, I hate myself on pictures. I just don't like the way I look.
Yeah, I mean, that's most of my clients say that. And I created this very unique offering called the Goddess Session, which basically weaves guided meditation, intention setting, and then in person, I'm helping people connect to their breath with breath work and different somatic practices, including dance therapy, to reconnect to their spirit, to their energy, and to their intention. So that comes through and comes out on camera.
I am so gonna have to get you to take pictures of me.
Yes. I would
Now,
love that.
I have to say, like, actually, my favorite people to work with are the ones who don't think they look good on camera. Um,
Yeah, and it's amazing, and so many people see my photos and they're like, "Oh, I can't be like any of these models on your page," and I'm like, "These are literally not models. These are my clients that have the same old stories of I don't look good enough by societal standards or whatever it is." And it's just normal regular people that don't think they're photogenic. It's such an old story and I'm here to erase that story from people's minds.
like, I love that you actually have the meditation sessions. And do you do the guided meditations yourself with your clients?
Yeah, so I send them a recording ahead of time so that they have time to think about their intention. And then we do a vision call where we prepare for the session and talk about what their intention is and how to bring that through on camera. And then the actual day of the session, we start with the grounding meditation so that they can connect to Mother Earth and feel safe and grounded in the space we're in. And then reconnect the intention and bring that through as we're photographing through the session.
Let's take a look at some of your work. I think you've got some
Yeah.
stuff that you want to show us, and your website looks amazing, by the way.
Thank
Um,
you.
I
Let
just
me
want to
put
put
it.
that up so people can actually take a look at it. But melissa-robin.com
Yeah.
is an amazing site, and when they get there, they'll be able to. Let's take a look at what you've got right here, because this excites
Yeah, I put together some of my favorite 50 images, so
me. How are you getting those rainbow into the shots?
so I actually shoot through crystal prisms, in order to capture the light reflecting off the crystal. So I really like to play with lighting a lot. I call myself a light witch.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. So let's look at this. These are different people, but these are people who go like, "Oh, I'm not really photogenic, right?"
Yeah, most of these people are either soulpreneurs that wanted to use these images for their soul centered businesses, or people that maybe are struggling with self confidence or being seen, and they want to have this experience of self love. And, who doesn't want to have photos of themselves when they're older to remember how beautiful they were in this moment? It's a moment of self love and self appreciation.
Okay, I'm looking at your backgrounds. I'm looking at where you're taking these shots. Where
Mhm.
is this beautiful place that you're shooting?
So I photograph all over the world. A lot of these are taken in Costa Rica. I go there quite often. This one in particular is a women's retreat I was hired to photograph. And then I photograph here in Portland, Oregon, where I live and my home is. And then I oftentimes go to New York and Maine as well. But these images are from all over the world.
I think those are excellent. Have you shot for agencies or have you always been independent?
I've mostly been independent. I've shot for a lot of different brands through my own business. But yeah, I've been an independent photographer for 15 years now.
When somebody actually wants to do a shoot with you, do they say, I'm looking for this picture because it makes me happy. I'm an Instagram person. I want my image to look like this, or I'm selling this kind of oil or something, and it needs to reflect me. How do you get to that point? What do you say to them?
Yeah, I do the vision calls with people where we talk about what kind of images they're wanting to create, what the essence is of their brand, and what they're wanting to pull through. And then oftentimes we'll create a mood board, and they'll go through a catalog of my photos, and then on Pinterest as well, and create a board so that we're in the same kind of vision. But oftentimes the magic really does happen with the connection and the meditation and them feeling safe to express themselves, especially for these soulpreneurs that like they're, coaches, healers, light workers that really people need to see who they are and who their essence is.
Yeah. Now, the clothing that people are wearing, are they bringing that themselves, or are you supplying that, or you have a wardrobe person that works with you? How does that happen?
It's a mix of both. So I have a huge goddess wardrobe closet, and during the vision call, we decide if I want to bring some pieces for them. But oftentimes, clients are bringing their own pieces as well.
Excellent. And also the props, I guess we'll call them. They're bringing their own props, and you have some that you can actually loan people.
Yeah, we can weave stuff in. I have a bunch of different fabrics. As you see, I love working with silks and fabrics. This beautiful woman, Gia Lady, creates silks that I buy for shoots and things. And then people have their own props that they want to use as well, like a crystal that's special to them, or maybe they want to build an altar together, which I love doing in nature as well.
I'm noticing just with a lot of your pictures, you've got the, I'm gonna guess that's mud that's smeared over or earth or that's smeared on the person's body, and that seems to be a running theme.
Yeah, so as you can see in all these photos, the common theme and element, right, is nature. So nature is the bigger container that is holding these people where they can feel safe to express themselves. And oftentimes, towards the end of a session, people want to connect to the wild woman, wild man archetype, right? Where it's you've done the pretty photos, and now it's time to like really connect to the earth and connect to your primal nature, which can be really, really healing for people.
Whose idea is it usually to do the nudes? Is it yours or is it theirs, or does it just get to that point where it's like, I'm gonna take this off, this off, this off, and now I'm free in nature?
Yeah, usually we talk about it before, and some people are like, "Oh, I don't want to get naked." I'm like, "Cool, what's whatever you want it to be. You don't have to be naked for these photos." But oftentimes, people feel very empowered by the end of the shoot, and they want to, you know, get nude
Yes.
for some photos and have these beautiful photos of their bodies to remember when they're older. And I provide that safe container where they can feel comfortable doing that if they wish.
Gotcha. I have to ask you a question about that last picture we saw. It looked like
Yeah.
a wedding dress or something that was like on fire.
Yeah, that
Um,
was actually a self-portrait I did 10 years ago when I was going through a painful breakup, and it was my Phoenix Rising transformational photograph. And that's an example of what I was talking about earlier, right? Of like how I use photography as my tool for transformation. Like that was such a healing project for me to do, to figure out how to do that fire. And yeah, it was just really healing for me to do that.
I love that picture. That was
Yeah.
amazing. So
Thank you.
I noticed also you work with a lot of women, but you do work with men also.
Yeah.
How is there a different kind of experience that you have when working with men, or how does that process go?
Yeah, it really depends on what kind of session people do. If they want to do the brand embodiment session and capture more of their business, or if they're doing, I do have men that do goddess sessions, but I
Okay.
work with everyone, right? So non binary, trans, whatever your label is, I'm so happy to photograph you. I don't, just photograph women. That is the majority of the people that come to me, but I
Hmm.
will photograph anyone, fairies, elves, mermaids, yes, please. But yeah, really creating that safe container for people to fully express themselves exactly how they are and not needing to present in a certain way. And with the goddess session, it's about connecting to that energy, which we all have masculine and feminine energy within. And I think anyone can tap into that if they desire to.
I think that what you said about being able to tap into all different types of people is super important because a lot of photographers get kind of like scared, weird, different, like, oh, I don't know if I can do a gay couple. I don't know if I can work in the queer community. But you cover that and you're perfectly fine with it as well as with elves.
Yeah, I'm a queer, non-binary person, so I definitely accept everyone exactly how they are, and that is part of my life mission here on earth is to help people feel safe expressing exactly who they are and their authenticity and who they are and allowing that creative container for people to come forward and show that to the world.
Yeah. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you and they get on your Facebook or Instagram or website. And is it good for them to already have like an idea, like look at your pictures and go, oh my gosh, I want to be on this stream, I want to be on a boat, I want to do all this kind of stuff. Do they do that first, or you worked with them together to do that?
I have some people that are like, I want to do exactly this. I want to fly you to Hawaii. I want to do underwater photos. I want to do this. And I'm like, sure, that's great. Let's co-create this together. But I have some people that are like, I have no idea what I want to do. I just want photos of me looking empowered because I want to remember myself looking like this in this moment of transformation that maybe I'm going through right now. And that's perfectly okay too. I'm here to support you in finding an intention and building a vision together, co-created.
Can you also do stuff for people? Let's say they've got an Instagram board or Instagram page, and they want brand pictures every other day. They want to put up a new brand picture. Do you do sessions like that where they can do branding?
Yeah, I offer brand embodiment sessions, which is exactly that, right? Creating content, really beautiful content that is going to help their audience see them for who they are and then attract their dream clients to them.
Yeah, I think that right there is so important. Like you see people out with their cell phones, like click, 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 and they're just taking pictures, but pulling together that whole package, I guess, is what you do, and you help people
Yeah, having
understand.
that vibe and look for your business, and it also helps elevate the value of your brand, right? If you have these beautiful professional images, not only does it attract your soulmate clients, it also elevates the value of your brand as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to show people again how to get in touch with you. You've got your website, which is melissa-robin.com, and they can get you there all 24/7. And
Mhm.
also you've got your Instagram, which is Melissa Robin Instagram. I love that. Yeah, I need some pictures. Like
Yeah,
that kind
yes.
of
Ooh, work, work.
stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you for coming on and letting me talk photography with you for just a minute. I really miss doing it, and you've made my day.
Yay, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And you guys get over there and see Melissa. Thanks a lot, Melissa. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.